Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do a V-stitch using double crochet. Now it's a lovely stitch for a baby blanket. If we look at this example here, you can see I've done it in pale blue and this cream colour in aran or worsted weight wool, and it gives a lovely texture, soft texture, and is pretty enough for a blanket but also warm enough too. So let's get going with our sample, and I'm going to show you this in this aran weight wool in one colour, and then we'll go back to this sample and have a look at the border and also at a nifty way of changing colour without snipping off every single time you change, which saves weaving in. So let's get started. So I'm going to use this lovely yellowy caramel colour here, and for doing this stitch you're going to do a multiple of odd numbers first of all. So we start with a slip stitch, so round your two fingers here and then tuck the working yarn underneath, place the loop on your hook, and we'll start with an odd number of stitches. You don't want to make that loop too tight, just tight enough that it sits and slides up and down your hook, holding the yarn in the usual way. I have a video on how to do this which I'll link to in the description below. So let's get going. A chain, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over, pull through, 3, yarn over, pull through, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll just do a sample of 12, which will give us enough and make it quick for you to learn, and we can always refer back to the bigger sample to show you the detail. So when you have, oh, I've got 12. I need 13. There we go. Sorry about that. Odd number, Amanda. Odd number of stitches on your first foundation chain. And what we're going to do first of all is in the third stitch, from the hook, 1, 2, 3, we're going to do 2, that's going to be the side, that's our first double crochet. We're going to do another double crochet. So we're finishing our sides with turning chain and then a double crochet. That's our first little V that's going to happen here, and we simply go across the row, skipping the next chain and then 2 double crochet. So yarn over into this next chain, and I'm just going into the top loop, and we're going to do 2 double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again through 2, yarn over again through 2 more. So we have our second group of 2 double crochet. We're going to skip the next stitch here, and we're going to go into this chain, yarn over, that's that one, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, skip this chain, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and yarn over. need to do another one in that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, skip a chain, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the same stitch, and then in our last stitch we're just going to do our 2 double crochet as before. So the good thing about this particular pattern is it's got a very simple repeat. Okay, so we have finished our first row. So let's have a little look at what we've done. I know it's a very small sample here. So we have our turning chains here and our first double crochet, 2 double crochet in every other stitch until we've reached the end of the row. Now we're going to turn and do our second row. So we're going to do, now I'm going to do 2 chain and turn my work to the left. You may find, depending on your tension, you may need to do 3 chain. And that is very much experience and personal preference. Lots of patterns will say do 3 chain when you're doing double crochet. I do 2 because my tension is just that little looser. I find if I do 3, I'll show you, if I do 3, this bit is too tall for when I come to do my first double crochet. It then produces a bulge here, which I don't want. So let's take that one away. We want our edges to be nice and taut. Okay, now we're going to do we're going to start our V's. So we're going to be working always into this gap here, into these gaps between our V's, not into this space here. Now we could do, but we'd have to start off our row differently. That's another type of stitch, and actually is also very attractive. But we're having this V stitch like this. So start your double crochet again. Yarn over. Remember, only doing 1 in this first V because we've got our chain as our starting stitch. We go into the V of in between our 2 double crochet from the row below, and we're doing 2 double crochet in each of those gaps. Not in this gap, it's in between the 2 stitches that were in this done in the same chain from the first row. It almost looks like a bird's foot stitch. There we go. So this tiny little sample works up very, very quickly to show you exactly what I'm doing. Now I'm using a very small hook here. You could use a much larger hook for worsted or aran weight yarn. I'm using a size 4, but you could use a 5, which would give you 5mm, that is, which would give you a looser stitch and more open work. But I really like to make the work quite, because my tension is quite loose, I tend to go down a hook size. So I've come to my last space, and again I work 2 double crochet into that end space. So now we can see that the V's are forming. I'll do 1 more row so that you can get a fuller picture of it, and then we'll have a look at the sample. So I'm going to turn 2 chain, turn my work to the left. Again, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in that first V, and then 2 in the remaining ones. So the good thing is when you're doing this It's a great project for if you've just started out on crochet, or if you want something very relaxing, because it means you don't have to think too hard. I would recommend, highly recommend, always checking your last row in case you've made a mistake, because then you don't have much to undo. We all make mistakes when we're crocheting, that's for sure. We try not to. Sometimes the phone goes, or you're distracted by friends or family, or just your mind wanders. Mistakes are what makes it personal. Okay, so we've come to the end of our third row. So we would go back and make sure that each of our rows looks exactly the same. Now the reason I haven't got some patterns will show you an extra stitch at the end. The reason I haven't done that is that you could use this particular pattern just as it is. You could make a scarf without having to do a border, and it would still look really lovely. So this would be a really super quick way of completing a first project without having to do a border. Now let's go and have a look at our other sample, and I will show you some other little tricks. So in this sample, you can see here that I've decided that I'm going to edge my blanket with a round of double crochet all the way around and up the side. And the reason that I have done this is because I want to do stripes. I want to carry my trailing yarn up the side. So that then hides that border here, just here. This hides where I'm taking my yarn up the side. And that means it's a very neat edge, but you're not wasting time or yarn every time you have to weave in. And I will just quickly show you how to weave in the change of colour. So we'll turn over to this side. I have just done my 2 rows of cream, and I want to change back to blue without cutting this off and then adding it in up here. So I'm going to use my hook from over here. And what I've done is I'm going to pull this yarn up the side, but I'm going to hook it through so it doesn't trail. So I've inserted my hook into a gap, pulled it through and hold it steady. I'm going to go up to this second row. Sorry, let's just catch it like that, and then again like that. So I've pulled in, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as it's secure. I've pulled in my blue yarn so that it is now level with this cream yarn, just simply by twisting it through these first stitches. Now I need to change colour. Now from another video you will have seen my invisible colour change, but the way in which you do that is we get to the last stitch, and before completing it we have 2 loops on our hook. We simply put this loop on again like that, so we've got 3, and we pull that through. So we've changed colour, but we've also completed this stitch. Then we can keep starting again. 2 chain, turn our work, and off we go in the normal way. The final thing I want to show you is simply how to evenly work the border. So join your yarn anywhere you like on the border. Maybe when you finish in at the top, you're going to do 2 double crochet in every row in the final stitch, like so. And this is where it hides that spare yarn that you're, I'd say drag, you're pulling up the side. Oops, I forgot to do that turn. Yarn over. It just means you have a neat edge like that. So whilst you lose your V, that one I haven't done quite correctly. Whilst you lose your completed V, I just go simply up the edge and all the way around your baby blanket. So there we have it, a really lovely dense but lightweight blanket for a baby, done in this lovely blue and cream worsted or aran weight yarn. You could do it in double knitting as well. That would also look great. So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and click the bell for a notification for when I do my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Have a good day.